What is up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, and today I'm going over a huge leak of every champion, every synergy in Set 7 TFT. As I've been talking about in my other videos, I'm so hyped for Set 7, and so just seeing this, being able to look at every single champion and synergy, it's getting me even more hyped, so I'm going to go over it all for you. And I just want to say this hasn't been like confirmed by Riot or anything. I mean, that's why it's a leak. I mean, based on just looking at things, it looks pretty legit, but I mean, maybe some stuff could change before it goes live. We'll see. That is to be said, though, that like, I mean, PBE is coming out in less than a week, so it's probably pretty finalized, but I mean, we'll see what happens when PBE drops. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is go over all of the traits. This person on Reddit, Demonic Dan 3, translated it all over from the Chinese leak initially. So super big thanks to him, because now we can actually see what every single trait is. So I'm just going to go down the list and talk through them all, what I think about them, and then we'll look at some of the champions, some of the more specific stuff. We got like a cool little screenshot of just like a random board. I'm really hyped to go into all this stuff. Okay, so our first trait is Jade. Summon 1, 2, 3, 4 Jade statues on your board. Statues give benefits to an ally unit that has the statue. They heal max HP every second and gain attack speed. When statue dies, debuffs nearby enemy units magic resist. Really weird. And so, I mean, the first time when reading through this, it says statues give benefits to an ally unit that has the statue. I have to assume that this is like a translation thing, and it's probably they buff ally units that are near the statue. That's what I would imagine. My other question with this is, you summon these statues. Can you move the statues? I would imagine not. That'd be a lot of units to move. So maybe they summon in like predetermined areas. Like maybe if you have one, it summons in the middle of the board. If you have two, maybe they spawn in like two like middle different spots. If you have four, you know, like there's different configurations for them all. I would imagine that's how it works. If you could move them, that would be really cool. But I'm not sure exactly how this works. But just the trait in general, giving extra max HP every second. I mean, obviously, once you get to however many Jade units this is, it's whatever 12 Jade units, 25% max HP per second is pretty crazy. But you know, even something like 3 or 6% max HP a second is quite good, and 40% attack speed on top of that is huge. It's interesting that they give max HP, attack speed, and then when they die, they debuff magic resist. It's a little bit weird, right? I mean, we'll see like some of the units that use this trait, and maybe we can try to figure out what exactly the units do. But it's kind of odd that they reduce magic resist, but then they give attack speed, because those two things, I mean, you know, attack speed lets you cast faster, but I mean, like, it's not like, you know, if you're thinking of like a caster, an AP champion stat, you wouldn't think of attack speed. So it's an interesting, I mean, you can go AD with them, you can potentially go AP with them. There's probably like multiple different things you can do. So interesting first one. Okay, this one looks really cool. Astral. So every 5 times you refresh your shop, you have an increased chance to find Astral or God of Stars unit, which I think that's probably like a dragon for this, I would imagine. You also gain a star orb, and the team gains AP. So this is every 5 times you refresh the shop, you gain an orb. So this is like the econ trait of this set, and it's based around refreshing shop, which is really wild. It's not what you usually think of when you think of like an econ trait. Econ trait, you usually think about like not refreshing your shop at all, just sitting. And you know, you had like Yordles this last set, which would just give you units so you don't have to like roll really hard for them. You had like Draconics in set 5, where you didn't have to like roll; they would just give you them. This is like sort of similar in that, I mean, it's obviously giving you value, but you have to refresh to get the value. I think it's really interesting. So you need to get in 6 to actually get any like orb, right? Or no, this is just means the value is increased. So at 3, I imagine you're still getting some kind of orb, right? Every 5 times you refresh the shop. I'm interested also, it doesn't specify here, but it says every 5 times you refresh shop. Does that count just like every single round you get a free refresh? I imagine yes. So like if you're rolling, 5 rolls does it, but if you just wait 5 rounds without rolling, I imagine it works like this as well. It's really interesting. I'm interested to see what the loot tables on the orbs actually look like, and it's really cool. You have an increased chance to roll them, so you know, you can really, like, if you really want to do it, you can snowball into hitting 6 or maybe 9 if you have like +1 or +2. Let's see how many astral units so far. Yeah, there's 7, so you need +2 to get to 9. I wonder if that's going to be like a 7 mercs situation where you don't play it that often, but it's very different in that it gives AP to your team, so maybe you will, right? Like 7 mercs you don't end up playing that often because like you're gonna die, but like this, it's not a lost streak econ trait. They talked about how there's not gonna be any more lost streak econ traits for the foreseeable future, so it's not that. It's an econ trait that, I mean, just it rewards you for refreshing. It's really, really crazy. So really interesting. I'm really interested to see this. And I believe, like, are these the astral units maybe? Yeah, these are the astral units because you can see over on the left here 5, 30, 60. So these are the astral units. I really like their aesthetic. And so Aurelian Soul is the dragon for them. That's really cool. All right. Next one we got Tempest. 9 seconds after combat start, all enemy units get struck by lightning, stunned for 1 second, and take max health true damage, and Tempest units gain bonus crit, chance, or damage, not sure, I guess, and attack speed. So it looks like an AD trait. What's really interesting about this is that it rewards you for surviving 9 seconds into the combat and then gives you a huge boost, and then, like, probably, I wonder if this lasts for a certain amount of time or if it just lasts until the end of combat. If it lasts until the end of combat, I can see this being a trait that really rewards like long fights. You'd really like to take something like a ZZ Rot's Portal with this, like Ascension, basically like the Ascension augment right now. This is like kind of that. You just want to make a fight last as long as possible. Some kind of like, you know, building like a Bloodthirster if you're building AD units, that kind of stuff. So that's what this makes me think of. If these don't last forever, it's quite interesting. Wait, yeah, you guys saw that. Okay, it's fine. I just want to turn down the music a little bit. If these don't last forever, then it's really interesting because it's not like a smooth, you like spike at this point and then you're good. It's actually more like you get to these 9 seconds and then you really want to end the fight quickly. Because like if this falls off, then you don't want to fight lasting, 30 seconds. If it lasts forever, which I'm not sure yet, we'll have to see, then you just want to play for long fights, build healing items, build like really tanky items. You can just slam like a Warmog Sunfire at your front line and just use Tempest to supplement the damage. The max health true damage is really cool. The stun for 1 second is really cool. I think this will be a really interesting trait. I'm just afraid because like if you play it depends on how fast the meta is. Like there's a lot of fights in TFT right now where the fight is over by 9 seconds. Like maybe not literally over, but like most of your units are dead at 9 seconds. So I can also see this be like terrible. If the meta is super fast, if fights go really quickly, there's just like no fights last this long. All your units are dead by the time this happens. And it's like how Ascension works now, where it's like not that great because like by the time you're 15 seconds into a fight, you're already dead. But there's a big difference between 9 and 15. 9's a little bit more reasonable. I wonder also if this could end up like scaling with the number of Tempest units. It seems like this stuff would probably scale and it would just always be 9 seconds, but not sure. All right, Reroll. Every time a unit casts a spell, fire a rocket at a random nearby enemy unit that deals flat magic damage. Okay, very, very simple. You want to cast a lot. Every time you cast, you send a rocket that does flat damage. So units that like really like blue buff, really like just like casting as much as possible. It's pretty simple. I like it. I think, like having some traits like this that are pretty simple, I think makes a lot of sense. And it also synergizes with a lot of stuff, as we'll look down further. Consider it with augments really well. I think this is really cool. It's just pretty straightforward, but I like it. All right, this next one, Guild. I mean, you can see, yeah, like it's longer than all the other traits we've looked at so far. Okay, so it says Guild units give your entire team bonus stats based on what guild you have on your board. If you have Twitch on your board, 10% attack speed to your entire team. Sejuani, 100 HP. Talon, AD, Zillion AP. Bard, mana per attack. And if you have a guild spat on your board, it gives Omnivamp your entire team. And then the guild units, which I guess are all of these, receive double this bonus. The bonus is further multiplied by the more units you have on board. Okay. This is wild. So like each of these units unlock this bonus to your team. So like if you only really want the AP, you could slot in it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could literally just slot in a Zillion for your team and give your team AP, or a Bard and give your team a mana per attack, or just a random Sejuani and give extra HP. This seems really flexible, but also really strong if you level, if you play like 5 vertical, right? I guess 6 if you have the spatula. But this seems really nice, really flexible, right? You can fit in as many as you want because it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trait. So this seems really, really interesting. I'm quite interested to see how this goes. All right, Swift Shot. They attack twice and they gain bonus attack speed. Pretty straightforward. I like it. Not really too much to say about it. Yeah, this looks like a good basic trait. All right, Illusionist / Mirage. Every time an Illusionist unit attacks, they gain a stack. Each stack is bonus attack speed, max 10 stacks. So it's like every unit has a Gwinsu's Rage Blade, right? Every time they attack, they get extra attack speed. That attack speed helps them scale up to more attacks. This is like kind of a scaling trait. I mean, 10 stacks, 10 autos, you still wait like pretty long into a fight to actually get 10 autos off. So it is more of a scaling trait. I wonder if there's synergy with Illusionist and like Tempest, if there are any Tempest Illusionist units. It's gonna be hard because this is not translated, so I'll have to like go look at all of these numbers, which like maybe I can do. Let's see. So Illusionist max 10, so I could look for the number 10 maybe. Is it here? I have no clue. I could also look for units that look like Illusionist. Like I think Nico's probably an Illusionist. Let's see, and this also shows all of the units. Nico is a shapeshifter. Is that different from an Illusionist? And this is part of where like the translations are really gonna get me. All right, we won't go too far into. Oh, it's probably Mirage here. Yone is a Mirage Warrior at 2 cost. Let's try to find Yone here. I assume the green. Okay, Yone. It's probably not that one. It's probably this. No, maybe it's this one. Maybe it's this. 6, 12, 20, 30%. And that's how much bonus attack speed they get. Okay, so there's Yone. I think this is what we're looking at. No, I don't think Nunu's an Illusionist. Maybe these guys? Aatrox? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I won't try to go too far into it. But yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty interesting trait. If there are synergies with Tempest, I think that could be cool. I mean, this already gives attack speed. Attack speed's a little bit much. But like this trait rewards you for surviving into combat. Like you stun everyone for 1 second, then you can get some extra auto attacks in and scale up. It seems pretty cool. All right, Shimmer Scale. Shimmer Scale units give 1, 2, 3, 5 unique items. And we actually have some or all, I'm not sure, of the unique items over here. So I wanted to show these guys off to you as well. Okay, so this first one gives 1% bonus attack speed per gold in your bank up to 80. Each attack has a 4% chance to drop 1 gold? That sounds so cool. Each attack has a 4% chance to drop 1 gold? You just put this, give infinite attack speed items to a unit, and you just sit and let them go. Every 25 attacks, you get a gold, essentially. I mean, it's not exactly how the stats work out, but like kinda, I think so, effectively. And then you get the attack speed. Ah, that seems so fun. Draven's Axe, gain 1 attack damage per gold in your bank up to 80. Every attack, the item gains a stack. At 100 stacks, gain 10 gold in an item component? That's really cool as well. So you stack this up. I imagine it just... Yeah, I imagine you don't get this every 100 stacks. It's probably just when you hit 100 stacks, right? That would be insane. I mean, it is 100 attacks, but there's no way you can farm like multiple items out of this. But that looks really cool as well. Run of Champions, every 5 seconds, the next attack deals 9,001 times the amount of gold in your bank. There's no way it's 9,001, but your attack deals damage times the amount of gold in your bank in true damage. That seems really cool. And then Philosopher's Stone. Refreshing your shop adds a stack to Philosopher's Stone. Each shop refresh has a chance to copy the holder and consume all stacks. More expensive champions are harder to copy. Oh my god. Consume all stacks. So I assume as you add stacks, it gets more likely? Probably? Can you do this multiple times? If I slap this on a 3-cost unit, and I roll 4 times and it duplicates them, does it stay on them and I can roll another like 5 times? I'm not sure exactly. I mean, these are really cool. They're really interesting. I'm really interested to see how those end up playing out. I also don't understand. This just says the synergy gives those items, but how does that work? If you slot in, if you play one unit, does it spawn on the unit? Do you have to have them in for it? Because this doesn't make any sense, right? Right? Like, you want to refresh shop. This is not like an only in combat situation, right? This item is going to stay on them. So how do you actually get these items? And do they stay if you take out the Shimmer Scale units? I guess that's what I'm asking. Really, really interesting. Do you get to pick? Are they random? I don't know. I'm really interested to hear on the details. This also seems like another econ trait, right? It scales around econ. So we're actually going to have 2 econ traits, right? This and the Astral. So that's pretty cool. But neither of them are Lost Streak econ. So quite interesting, quite interesting. All right. Legend/Deity. Volibear, Ornn, and Anivia are considered deities units. Units next to a deity at the start of a round become their followers and sacrifice themselves, giving deity units max HP, armor, MR, and 40% of their AP? So you just sack up a bunch of your smaller units to buff up these huge guys? That sounds really wild. Oh my god. There are gonna be some Twitch clips of people who have their like full carry in this deity comp and like somehow it's not the deity. They're gonna put it next to the deity and the deity is gonna eat it and it's just doomed. I guarantee. I wonder if you put them next to each other, they probably don't eat each other. It's just non-deity units probably. That's really interesting though. I feel like this could be quite degenerate though. Like if you just end up in a situation where you just play your deity unit, put all your units around it, they get huge and just 1v9 the enemy team, that could be really suspect. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. It seems very fun though. All right. Dragon Scorn. Dragon Scorn units take 30% reduced damage from enemies with over 2500 max HP, and they do 30, 60, 100% more damage if you don't have a dragon trait. So this is the anti-dragon trait. This is really cool because I think a lot of people were asking like, okay, are dragons going to be like too busted? Or is every board going to have a dragon? But looks like no. There's literally a trait in here to counteract dragons. So that's really cool to see. I like this a lot. Yeah, that's really cool. All right. Whispers. They shred 40% armor and MR of the target they attack. Debuff lasts 6 seconds. When allies attack the debuff target, they gain bonus 80 and AP against the debuff target. That's nuts. What are the how many do you have to put in to get whispers? 2? So like if you don't have a last whisper, like right now it can be really tough to get through like bodyguards in this current set. Now, like if you are at the end of the game, you don't have last whisper, you just slot in 2 whispers, right? And you just get them onto the tanks, and then you're literally like have an item on a unit. That's really, really cool. I like this a lot. It's really cool to have this kind of stuff on a trait that's usually on an item. I think that's really interesting. Also, like probably if you go vertical, you're just gonna be one-shotting units, which seems really cool. All right, Fury Wing / Rage. Okay, rage units generate rage when attacking. When they hit max rage, they gain a steroid for 4 seconds after casting their ability, a lot of attack speed and Omnivamp. Okay, interesting. So they kind of like scale up when they attack, and then if they can hit max rage before they die, they get really buffed, a bunch of attack speed and Omnivamp. Interesting. So like the limiting factor here is getting there, right? Because some amount of the balance for this is going to be that sometimes they're not going to get to max rage before they die probably. So you have to make sure the units can survive long enough to get max rage. So that's interesting. So they generate rage when attacking. I wonder if it's only when attacking. Like if they're getting hit, I mean, just like intuitively, I feel like that would make a unit angry. But like, did they not get rage for getting hit? It's just for attacking? That would allow you to like use it better on like backline carries. So maybe, well, we'll see. This seems interesting. It's another one similar to this rage one actually reminds me of Tempest in that you hit a breakpoint and then you get really strong, like when you hit that breakpoint. It's quite interesting. It seems like there are gonna be a lot of fights that are like really swingy, which is pretty cool. It can be really tactical, right? Like if you position really well and kill your opponent's rage unit before they go in rage, it's the difference between winning or losing a fight. Or the same thing with Tempest, right? Like if you can kill like their key units before your units get stunned, before Tempest goes off, then that seems really interesting. So that's really cool to see. I think this will make fights really, really tactical. Okay, this next one, Dragon Tamer / Trainer. Every round, each Dragon Tamer feeds biscuits to an extra unit. It's like innovators. Every time you feed it, it gains bonus HP and AP. When it eats 25 biscuits, it gains 1 star. 2 lets you play the extra unit on your board. 3 increases the extra unit's magic damage by 100%. And I think this is if you look at, I think this is Dragon Mancer, so it's like 6. At 2 doesn't mean two dragon tamers, right? Because I don't think there's a 1, 2, 3. Oh no, there is a trainer. Okay, so it literally is 1, 2, 3 units. What are the trainer units? I'm interested, and I have to like look through. Heimerdinger. Okay, Dragon Trainer Heimerdinger, that makes sense. Is there like a Tristana? Yeah, Tristana too. And then who would the last one be? I'm really looking over here at Lulu, Dragon Trainer Lulu. Okay, interesting. Whoops, I clicked into the wrong thing. Okay, so it's just 1, 2, 3. So it seems pretty easy to hit. 1, 2, 3. Is there a 4? No, it's just 2, 3. Interesting. So you have to get 2 in for it to actually be a trait, and then you have to get 3 in to like buff it up more. Once you get 3 in, like you want to get 3 in as quickly as possible, right? Because I believe it's each of them feed the biscuit to the unit. So if you have 3 and you're feeding 3 biscuits around, whereas if you only have 1 and you're feeding 1 biscuit around, and 25 biscuits equals 1 star. Okay, that means like to get it to a 2 star, of course, must be. So you need 50 biscuits to get it to 3 star, I would have to imagine. I wonder if you can go past that. I wonder if there's a 4 star Dragon Trainer unit. So 25, if you got in 3, that's still quite a while, right? That's 8 rounds. It's really like 9 rounds, but it's closest to 8 rounds. But it's like 9 rounds to get to 25. So that's like middle, like if you got 1 Dragon Tamer in round 1, got another one in round 2, it'd probably be around like the end of stage 3 that you're getting it. If you hit 3 very quickly, maybe there's a world where you get like Lulu out of a orb, you get 3 in on your second round, and then it's just 1 biscuit and then 24 from there, so it's just 8 rounds of having 3 in. It's interesting because they're going to spike really. It's another scaling trait, actually. It's almost like an econ trait in that you have to scale it up, right? You're not playing for board strength, you're playing for late game. That's interesting. I wonder if a 3 star of whatever these guys train is going to be a really strong unit. This is very different from a lot of like innovators, right? There's only 3 of them. So that's really, and it scales. Really, really interesting trait. I'm really interested to see how this plays out. All right, and this is Bard's special trait. Bard is in the set. I think he was in a previous set, but I haven't played that set, so I don't know if this is the same as the previous one. I guess you can tell me in the comments down below. At the end of each round, Bard has a 10 times the number of survived units % chance of creating a note. If he casts his ability, he also creates a note. For every note that's collected, your shop has a 1% increased chance of finding 3, 4, and 5 cost units. That's really cool. So you just want to farm up a bunch of notes. If your units live, you get more notes. If Bard casts a lot, you get notes. And then those units make you find better units in your shop. That seems really fun. There's a lot of scaling, right? There's this Bard, there's Dragon Trainer. So far, just looking at these so far. Bard, Dragon Trainer, the Astral one, and then this Shimmer Scale as well. Scales with gold. Like these are a lot of traits that take time to scale up. Maybe the meta will be a little bit like slower HP wise. Like maybe you're not going to take a lot at the beginning because people are going to play weak boards. And like if you want to play strongest board, you can probably win streak pretty easily. It's quite interesting. All right, let's get into the rest of the traits. We have Mage. Mages double cast their ability, and the second cast does a different % of damage. I think this is a reprint trait. I didn't play very much in the set that this existed, but it's a very like pretty generic AP trait. It'll be interesting to see what the spells are of the units. That's what it really revolves around. But I think this is a good straightforward AP trait. You know, just play your 6 mages and you're chilling, or like, what is the actual? Play your 7 mages and you're chilling. How many are there? There's 7. So yeah, play 7 mages, cast a bunch. Like that's a very straightforward comp to play. I like that. All right, Swift Shot Rangers. They gain bonus attack speed for every hex in between themselves and their target, and they gain it to attack range. So it's snipers, but it's attack speed instead of their current, which is damage, what snipers do. I like that a lot. I mean, I really like the intricacies of sniper positioning in the current set, and how also that interacts with augments, things like phalanx and stuff like that want you to position a certain way. So I really like this a lot. This is cool. I like having this type of trait in here. Fighter. They have a 25% chance to add a big amount of bonus damage to their next attack. Okay, so like every once in a while, they're going to have a big attack. That's really cool. I like that. Very straightforward as well. Not too much to be said about that. You can get a bunch of attack speed that'll allow them to more often hit this, or you can just give them AD for huge attacks. It's pretty straightforward. Interested, like a lot of these traits seem to give attack speed. So you can definitely have like fighters with a bunch of attack speed that are hitting for big amounts. So some kind of like fighter plus Tempest board. After I go through all these, I'm going to go through the units and then also where there's like overlap in traits. So we'll see. Brawler, same icon as Bruiser, probably similar. Okay, I like having that kind of tankiness. Cavaliers, reprint from set 5, I think. Cavaliers gain bonus armor and MR. When they change targets, they charge their new target and double this bonus. So another like tanky frontline stat. It's armor and MR. And then we also have Brawler, so it's pretty like generic frontline units, or frontline synergies, it looks like, which is fine. I think that's pretty reasonable. So like you have just, this is armor and MR and this is HP. You know, there's no like, oh, my opponent has a bunch of AD units, I'm going to play a bunch of bodyguards, which I kind of like. You know, there are some very like swingy fights in this current set where like you're playing a bunch of bodyguards and someone who is playing an AD comp just like can't beat you at all, but someone who's playing an AP comp can wreck you. So I kind of like these more generalist ones where like your board's gonna be the same strength versus both players. I think that makes sense. Okay. Vanguards. When Vanguards drop below 50% HP, they grant themselves and nearby allies a shield based on their percent max HP. Interesting. Okay. So it's another swingy, but this is like guaranteed to happen, right? But the fights will swing when they drop below 50% HP. They give everyone this shield. It's just another, it's like survivability. It's another tankiness. So we actually have a lot of like tankiness traits here. So that's quite interesting. So like I'm saying, there might be a lot of fights. I mean, it seems like fights are in general going to go longer, right? There's not a lot of fights that say like, okay, we're just going to kill you instantly. Like the only one we've seen so far is like Whispers, but most other ones, they like scale up or their tankiness. So it's interesting. We might have like a slower meta, or Vanguards. We might have a slower meta. We'll see. We have Assassins, same as Live. That's good. I like having Assassins. Enchanter, MR to your whole team probably. That's nice. Just having this in for late game against some of the really big AP boards, I think makes a lot of sense. And a lot of the dragons probably do huge AP damage, so I think that makes sense. Shapeshifters, they gain bonus percent max HP. So this is similar. I feel like way back when I played with Shapeshifters. I don't know if it was the same as this, or it might have been the same as this. But I imagine the Shapeshifter units like transform, like those old Shapeshifter units. I mean, we can go over here and just look at some Shapeshifter units and see if that makes sense. Like Gnar, yeah. Nidalee. Okay, so it is those units that have max HP and then they transform. I think that's really cool. I think this makes for really interesting fights. So that's fun. Dragon Worshipper. You choose one of your units. The unit gets a blessing from a dragon and gains bonus max HP and AP. Bonus or bigger based on how many stars they have. Ooh. This reminds me of like Coven in set 5, where you pick a unit and they get the Coven bonus. That's quite interesting. So they get a blessing from a dragon. Does that mean you have to have a dragon in to activate this? Maybe this might also be specific to like something here. I don't know if it's the same. Like I don't know if it's Dragon Mance or if that's the same thing or if that's a completely different thing. So I'm not 100% sure. But I wonder if you have to have a dragon in for this to work. We'll see. All right. Cannoneer. Every 5 seconds, they get a big boost to their next auto attack. That sounds very similar to... well, it's similar to Fighter, except this is time-based, right? This is another, like, time scaling one. It's every 5 seconds, right? It doesn't matter how many times you attack. It's just going to come every 5 seconds. So that's interesting. Another scaling trait. Interesting. Evoker / Mage Caller, they gain a flat amount of mana every time an ability is cast around them. That's really cool. So you just want to cast a lot and like buff up their AP. You can use someone else's like a battery for them. I forgot where that was, when that was relevant before, but I feel like something like this, like there was something similar to this where you would like, you have a unit with a blue buff and they're like a battery for your real carry where they just cast a bunch of times and then make your unit cast. So that's really cool. All right, and then we have some special ones. So Spell Thief, this is Zoe's trait. Every time she casts or a new round starts, she randomly shuffles her spell from set 1 Kale, set 3.5 Jana, set 5 Iron, and set 6 Lux. Okay, so set 6 Lux is back. That's too lit. I love set 6 Lux. I love set 5 Iron. I don't know what these two units are. I have no clue what this Kale ability is, and I have no clue what this Jana's ability is. So maybe you can, tell me in the comments below what it is. But, I mean, this seems really wacky. All right, and then Soraka's trait, Star Collar. Her first spellcasting combat around my Soraka heals their Tactician based on their star level, 2/4, 100 HP? So this unit heals you, the player. That's really interesting. I believe she's a 5 cost. Yeah, she's a 5 cost. So there's no chance of you getting this in at like stage 2 and like just lost streaking the entire game and saving a bunch of HP. But she'll be a nice unit late game if you're like kind of stable but you need to heal up a bit to get this in. I really like this because like the games of TFT that I'm the most afraid of are the games where I think my board is stable, but I'm at like 10 HP because I played the early game poorly. And so like my board looks stable, but I can never like go 9 because I feel like I have to roll every round because I'm gonna die. But if you just get in a 1-star, 2-star Soraka and you heal up 2 HP, 4 HP around, you're actually chilling. And 100 HP around, like, can you lose? I mean, it's when she casts, right? So if the enemy just kills Soraka, if you have a Soraka 3 and the enemy kills her before she casts, then you don't get the HP, I imagine. That's really interesting though. I'm really interested to try this out. Okay. And now let's just look at all the units we got. So I'm not gonna name out every single one, but I'm just gonna go through and see if anything pops out to me. Okay, so we have 1 cost Leona, Senna, Set, Tom Kench 1 cost. Interesting. So he's a bruiser, obviously. Skarner's a bruiser as well. Vladimir is a 1 cost again. Nice. I like Vladimir. Tarek is a tanky unit, a Jade Guardian. Ezreal again is 1 cost. Nice. All right, going on a 2 cost. We have Ashe is another 2 cost. Nar Jinx is a 2 cost. Interesting. She's a Revel. So it's more like a casting based Jinx then, right? Isn't Revel based on when you cast? Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Nami is a 2 cost. A lot of 3 trait Martys here, right? In the 2 costs. There's 5 of them. That seems like more than we currently have. So I know we have Sejuani and Rek'Sai right now. What else? I mean, I'm not going to go and look at it, but this seems like a lot. That's interesting. So we'll see how that squares up. 3 costs. We have Anivia. Oh, baby. As when I play League, Anivia is one of my mains. And Nunu and Soraka. Those are like my 3 highest. Ivern as well, but I don't know if Ivern exists in this set. I think not. Okay. No Ivern. Sedge. But Anivia, that's gonna be really cool. She's not a unit. She's not a mage. She's a Jade Evoker Legend. What the heck is Legend? This is where like some of the translation stuff is gonna wreck me. Oh, okay, it's this one. Oh, right, they're deity units. Okay, so that's really cool. So you can have like a raid boss Anivia. That seems really fun. And that you use the Evoker, they cast a bunch. Oh man, that's really cool. Nunu's a Mirage Cavalier. Oh, so Mirage was for that. Interesting. That's really cool. I mean, I love Nunu. Lee Sin's a 3 cost. I think they talked about earlier about him being a 5 cost, but I think it's been changed, so he's a 3 cost now. Rise is a mage, a guild mage. Volibear, 3 cost. Okay, 4 cost Cork. I mean, it makes sense. Revel, Cannoneer. Hecarim, Nico I really like as well, just as a unit in like actual League. 4 cost Zaya is gonna be really cool. Okay, like 4 cost carries matter a lot, right? They matter for like the entire set. Like it can really change the set. So we have a Cannoneer carrier. Hecarim's gonna be tanky. Nico's probably gonna be tanky. She's a Jade shapeshifter. Ornn is gonna be tanky. Sona is a Revel Evoker. Okay, and Revel was what? Revel. This is the rocket one. So it could be like Sona as a carry. Interesting. Talon is going to be a 4 cost assassin carry. And then Zaya's, of course, going to be a carry. We also have, once we get here, we have these dragon units that have double cost. If you didn't see my last video, dragon units have a double cost. So there's 4 cost dragons, which are really 8 cost, and there's 3 5 cost dragons. And these are units that aren't in League. You can see some of their like the images for them over here. But this one you really can't see because my cam's covering it. I'm sorry. And it's like a little bit off here. I'll move the. I completely botched that. I'm sorry. Here, let's do this. Yeah, this looks good. This looks good. Here, don't look at my Discord chat about Magic the Gathering. Okay. So you can see Aurelion Soul. I don't know what any of these guys are, but they're different dragons. Really cool. Really cool. Okay, so they look really interesting. Okay, so yeah, Deja, Idis, Chiyoyu, Saifen. They're all dragons, of course. So this is a Mystic. These are both tanks. Shimmer Scale, Mirage, Shimmer Scale again. Oh, that's the Econ one. Ooh, 4-cost Econ Dragon. That sounds really cool. Or it's the gold reliant one. And what was Mirage again? Mirage was they gain attack speed. Okay, so this could be a carry dragon, the Mirage Dragon. That's really cool. And then we have our 5-cost. So Bard, we talked about, seems really interesting. Pike is a Whisper's Assassin, so he's just going to jump to the backline and wreck their armor and MR. That's crazy. Soraka is a Jade Starcaller. That's so cool. So she's like the top unit out in the Jade comp. Yasuo is a Mirage Dragonmancer Warrior. So this guy, Yasuo just killed our whole enemy team. And then Zoe is she's also the Econ trait. Oh, I want to play Shimmer Scale so bad. That seems so fun. Spell Thief, which I guess is her trait, and a Mage. She's a Mage. So if she like gets Luxalt, she might double cast Luxalt. She might double cast Ironalt. And there's gonna be 2 Daisies. I don't know. Or is she gonna cast like Ironalt and then Luxalt? I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. And then our 5-cost dragons. Ao Shin is a Tempest Dragon. Aurelion Soul is an Astral, so he caps out the Astral comp. And then Shivan is a Ragewing Shapeshifter Dragon. Really cool stuff. And you can see all the stuff over here. I'll have all this, the link to all this, the link to the Reddit post in the description below. You can check it out. Okay, the last thing I want to check out here is what synergies have multiple units, right? And you can tell this by just looking at the chart and then looking at where there's double. So it looks like Bruiser. There's 2 Bruisers. There's 2 Cosmic Bruisers, Skarner and Alawi. And then there's 2 of these guys. 3, 6, 15. Do we have a 3, 6, 15 here? Because I have no clue what this is. I mean, I guess we can just look at the units. This is Silas? He's a 3-cost. Silas, that's Whispers maybe, or Mage? This is a 4-cost. Is there a 4-cost Whisper or Mage? Silas is Whispers, Mage, Bruiser. Bruiser. Horn is a Tempest, Bruiser. Wait. These are both Bruisers, right? What 4-cost Bruiser is there? Ornn. Ornn is a Tempest Bruiser, and Silas is a Whispers Mage Bruiser. I don't get why these 2 are in the same thing, actually, now that I look at this. Because I don't know what this is. Silas is here and also here? Oh yeah, because he has both. But I don't know why this unit is here. I don't even know what this unit is. It's probably the dragon. Oh, it's down here. Because there's a dragon. Okay, so there's also 2 Whisper Bruisers. And Whispers, if you forgot, because I already did, is the armor and a march thread. Oh, that's really odd. You wouldn't expect Bruiser to synergize with Whisper. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. All right, all of these, there's no double up. Nico, okay, so these are 2 shapeshifters, I think. Oh, and they're Jade shapeshifters. Can that be a comp? I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right? The Jade Idols give a bunch of extra % max HP, and then the shapeshifters, or they give max HP back per second, and then shapeshifter get bonus % max HP. I mean, that's a straight up synergy as you can get. That's really cool. Jade, what is this? Like sniper or something? Ash is a Jade Swiftshot. And is there another Jade Swiftshot here? Oh, it's Dragonmancer. Karma and Ash are both Jade Dragonmancers. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so maybe some kind of Dragonmancer, Jade Dragonmancer. Jade has a lot of inbuilt synergy, right? These guys and the Dragonmancers. All right, what else we got? Down here, it looks like there's a couple as well. These are both like Revel Cannoneer or something. Yeah, they're both Revel Cannoneers. That makes perfect sense. That's just some very straight up inbuilt synergy, though Cannoneer is more about auto attacking, right? And Revel is more about casting. So there's not that much synergy. But I mean, it can be like AP plus AD, the comp. So that's cool. Right here we have Set plus whatever this 3 cost is. Oh, is that Dragonmancer? Yeah, Dragonmancer is a Ragewing, set as a Ragewing Dragonmancer, and then Swain is also a Ragewing Dragonmancer, so that's cool. So a lot of synergy in Ragewing or Dragonmancer. I don't know which one this is actually. But that's really cool. That's interesting. Okay. I think those are all the ones that have multiple in the same one. Oh, there's this as well. Cosmic plus whatever this is. Is this Mage? Where's Nami? This is Nami, right? I think that's Nami. But it says, oh, she's a 2-cost. I'm looking in the wrong spot for her. Yeah, it's either Mage or Mystic, and I doubt there's 1-cost Mystics. Yeah. So there's Astral Mages, which that seems really cool. Okay, so you have this Astral comp that scales up with a bunch of mages. That's really cool. Okay, I think that's all of it. But yeah, you can, like, all of the ones that have multiple traits and all the speculation I can do. Looks really cool. The next thing we have to find out is what all the units' traits are. This is hitting PBE less than a week from today. So you know I'm going to be spamming PB when it comes out, just playing all of the new comps, just testing out all the new champions. It's going to be absolutely too lit. But this video has been super long anyway, so I'm going to let you guys go. What are you most excited about in the new set? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks.